All right, everybody. For those Zoom, take this information down. And again, if you have any questions, you can email me and I'll get it back to you. Let's go ahead and get started. We're running just a few minutes late. So as soon as everybody gets their plate, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about classes that we have coming up. I talked to the people here, but we have next week is our Home Snap class. There was an inadvertent charge on it. It's no charge to y'all, so please register for the class. It's very informative. Also, we've got the 25th of this month, we've got a lunch and learn that talks about from contract to close, talking about the entire process as far as once you get an offer ratified, all the steps and everything that it takes to get involved, get it to closing. Also, in October, please look, we have a certification, RENE. Monica Neubauer is presenting that, and you can get it if you're a HAR member for $49. Getting a certification at that cost is unheard of. So those are a couple of education opportunities. And again, we appreciate the opportunity to bring those to you. So with that, let's go ahead. We're going to get started. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and bring it to a start. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. We're going to start at the dashboard. This class is to how to market yourself online. With all due respect, I know your brokers love you promoting their company. License law requires you that you do that. However, this you got your license to get into the profession for you. It's not a hobby. It's a way of life. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can customize all your tools and applications and have it where people call your cell phone and see your image there. So we're going to go through. I'm going to start with Paragon. We're going to do a couple of the setups, and then time permitting, I may run a little bit late, but I do want to show you searches and collaboration centers because there was a lot of people wanting to know that. So and I'm back. All right, Paragon. When you log into your dashboard, click on Paragon, and I'm going to show you that your home page, yes ma'am, password, HAR1234, all lowercase, HAAR 1234. And you can choose any one of the opens, either 2.4 or 5 open. All right, on your home page, and I'm going to get everyone. Your home page is not to hinder you. It's to provide you information. And what we're going to do is go through the steps to customizing your Paragon for you. When it's set up to some defaults, I want you to be able to customize Paragon for you. So what I'm going to do is here, under your preferences, we're going to walk through. Paragon is great in a lot of their different modules, whether it be CMA, contacts, so forth and so on. They have wizards. You will know that Paragon has a wizard when it has a green arrow that says next, and I'll point that out. Now, your homepage, you'll see you have news, you have quick search, but over here on the right-hand side, you have a calendar, you have the market monitor, and you're going to have contact activity. We're going to spend some time customizing these so when you log into Paragon and you look at your homepage, you can look at these widgets and be able to tell things that are new on the market. We're going to customize it for you. You're going to see if you have any events that you need to take place as far as showings, different things like that. If you have a listing that's getting ready to expire, this will pop up. So we're going to go through, again, right here, under your preferences. I always start with your preferences. On your right-hand side, you're going to see 3 wizards that it's going to walk through. You're going to have your Paragon Basics, you're going to have your Collab Center, and you're going to have your CMA. So with that, I want you to take first and take them in that order. When you click here, you're going to see Preference Wizard, Collab Center Preference Wizard, and CMA Preference Wizard. We're going to go through the Preference Wizard first. I encourage you, go through your Preference Wizard, go through your Collab Center, then go through your CMAs. Customize all this, because if you get ready to do a CMA, you don't need to wait until 5 minutes before you're to meet with them and say, I don't have it customized. Have it already done. I'm going to encourage you, when you do a CMA, go ahead and practice. Send a CMA to a family member. Send a CMA. You can send it to me. Practice on a CMA. We've got a CMA class coming up, but set your preferences up so you can just go in, click, get your report done instead of customizing it. We're going to go ahead and do the customizing. So we're going to go through the Preference Wizard over here on the right-hand side. We're going to click Preference Wizard, and Paragon's going to tell you, welcome. And we're going to go through and we're going to set this up for you. It's great. It's generic this way, but you want your phone to ring. You want people to recognize you. So we're going to go through and customize this. Click your start. The first thing is your picture. Always, always, always identify any kind of marketing, any kind of report to have your picture. People work with people. You have to have something that they can relate to. And also use a picture that looks like you. Do not have a picture where they say, I want to work with this person, not you, or who is this person? I knew somebody who was successful. However, he felt obligated to have a 25-year-old picture in there. It looked like his prom picture. Don't do that. Have your picture. It gives the format, the size, and it just click on it, and you can upload whatever picture that you want. Next, we'll walk you through each step so you do not forget anything at all. Your company logo. Your broker is going to have to have your company logo. That should upload. If you do not have your company logo, then get in touch with your broker. Alabama license law says that you have to have your name associated with your brokerage. So make sure that you have your picture, but definitely your broker logo, your company logo there. You click your next. You do not have this. This is a me thing. So we're going to go past that. The market monitor. Now you heard me explain your widget right here. Before you customize it, gives everything in the entire MLS. You're going to customize it for you. You're going to open Paragon up every day. You're going to look at that market monitor and you're going to see all the new listings, expired listings, any listings that had price changes, anything that is sold, and anything that has gone pending. And we're going to customize it to you. So what I want you to do is here on the first, the class, you may not know what class is as far as real estate. Anytime that there is a magnifying glass with Paragon, click it. That gives you your answers. So whether it be a search and you don't know what it is, click the magnifying glass. It's going to give you your answers. In this, if you don't know what the class is, you click here and it's going to pull up all the classes that Paragon has for your real estate. Most everybody is in residential. So I encourage you to check residential. And what that's going to do is bring up all the new listings, expired listings, pending listings, so forth in the residential class. If you want to know about land and lots, make sure that's checked. If you're going to do multifamily, if you're looking to specialize with property management and you're looking for apartments, duplexes, fourplexes, whatever it is, make sure you click multifamily. If you don't want it, don't check it. If you want auctions, if you don't want auctions, you click this and it goes away. Select whatever you want to keep up with in your business. Click save, and that's what's going to show up here. The next is going to be the type. So you're going to start with the class. You're going to go to the type. Magnifying glass, click, and you can choose if you're looking for condos, if you're going to specialize in single family, patio homes, whatever it is. Remember, the magnifying glass gives you the answers. Select what you want. Click Save. Now you're going to go to the county of choice. If you are in Madison County and you're going to specialize in Madison County only, just select that. If you're going to branch out and go into Jackson or Marshall, Morgan, Limestone, whatever it is, you select the counties that you want to appear. So you're taking that every listing in the MLS and you've narrowed it down to the class, the type, and the area. So when you do that, and then your originating system, always make sure that that says Valley MLS. Since we're data sharing with Greater Alabama, you can get new listings that appear in Jefferson County. And if that's not going to be in your area, just make sure that Valley MLS shows up. When you click Next, it saves all your criteria. So when you look at your hot sheet, I'm going to close this and then I'll get back to it. When you look for all the new listings, when you click on New Listings here, what it's going to do is pull up all the new listings in that class, the type, and the area that you selected. Technology is great until you need it. Anyway, that's going to pull that up. So here's a little tip. Why is this important? New licensees. If you've heard me any length of time, you will know that you have to work for listings in this profession. You have to list in this business to last. I offended somebody a little earlier this week, and I didn't mean to. You have to have buyers, but you have to have listings to really survive in this business. Here's a tip. Everybody looks for the for sale by owner. The reason that a person lists for sale by owner or tries to sell for sale by owner is because they don't want to pay a sales commission, service fee. When you set your market monitor up, look at your expired listings. Now, in this market, I realize that there's very few expired listings. However, every market swing, it'll correct itself. You're going to need to prospect for potential listings. Prospect expired listings, because that's one less objection that you have to overcome. You don't have to tell them, you need to, this is why we charge a service fee, yada, yada, yada. They already said, I'm willing to pay. Chances are that listing didn't sell for two reasons, pricing and marketing. You will take care of the marketing and hopefully you'll agree on the pricing. So that's a tip, free of charge, doesn't cost you anything. But make sure you have it set up for your area, for the class, the type, and the area. And then prospect your expireds. You're going to go to your default search criteria. What that does is every time you go into your search, and that's the that's the mostly used module in Paragon. You do searches for buyers, you do searches for sellers, you do searches for yourself, whatever it may be, you do searches. So you're going to set this search up. And you're going to enable anytime, no matter what it says, if it says default, choose it. Because there's been lots of years of experience, lots of hours put into this to try and customize the different fields in there. And this is what people have come up with. You can customize it later to add or subtract some fields, but when you are starting off, take the default. There's nothing wrong with the default. On the search options, just make sure that you have as many of these checked as you possibly can. Click the next. We're going to go to the result options. This is the #1 question that we get. And when I say we, the MLS department. I want you to go ahead and select the page size. You can select whatever you want. You can choose the default, or as many as 250. That's going to be strictly dependent upon your internet speed. Some people like to have 250 results show up at that time. However, if you're having a slow internet connection, don't choose that because it takes so much longer for the page to load up. Experiment with it. But down here at the bottom, see where there's a phone number. Now there's a place here that you can choose the telephone number that you want to display. Yes, there was a thing called landlines at one time. People had a home phone. The signals were transmitted through these things called telephone lines, on telephone poles. Some of you in here that are young enough to not realize that everything came through cell towers. Shame on you. But you choose the number of choice here, but this box, display this phone number in reports that contain the agent's name. You'll be surprised. Yes, ma'am. Okay, you'll need to send, the question was, how do you change that number? Membership has one number, has your numbers that you fill out your application. If you need to add a number, send an email to membership@valleymls.com. That's the only way that you can change your cell number or your email address. If you have a change in either one of those, email membership@valleymls.com, and then they will change it for you. Then you'll have that option for that drop down. You choose the number that you want to appear on your report. However, default does not have your number. The phone rings all the time with somebody calling and saying, I just ran my report and it doesn't have my name and number on it. Make sure this right here is checked. Because what you're doing, we're going through these steps. So when you run a report to hand to someone, it has your picture and your number, because you want your phone to ring and you want them to look you up. So make sure this box is checked. Next. Hey, Landa, how are you? Wait a minute, you're muted. Unmute. Landa, you're muted. Unmute. You not unmute?
Sorry about that. I was so
problem.
excited. Would you go back a page to parcel layers? I have something checked differently from you.
Okay.
So you have only lines,
Right.
and I have line plus APN, but I don't know what that means.
I would check it, because what that is, it's the parcel number that pops up. And sometimes if you're zoomed out too far, the number really messes it up. So I would not, and I appreciate you bringing that up. But as far as the, let's see right here, where did it go?
Yeah, lines only under parcel layer.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see, where was it? Parcel layer. Did I pass it?
Yeah, you're going to go down, I think. Yeah, there you
is,
go,
right
right
here.
there, parcel
Right
layer.
there. When you have that, sometimes the map is small and you'll get numbers that will overlap. You have to you really have to zoom in on it, and then you lose the whole thing. So I would just, thank you for bringing that up. Choose your lines only on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. All right, and then on the result options, really make sure, I'm going to recommend that your default for your details page, your double click, is going to be an agent full, because what happens when you get search results, you double click it and it brings up the agent view. That's what you need. You can choose the customer full as far as an email report, things like that. But on your double click, make sure that you have agent full. We're going to go next. We come to the fun part. How many people have looked at other people's Paragon and they see all these cute little things going on around here? This is where you do it. Notice that I got balloons going. I have a short attention span, so I need something to distract me. This has moving balloons, but right here, this is probably the most popular one. Here, you've probably seen that numerous times. I encourage you, change it. I mean, you know, you're going to get stale. We're going to get fall sooner than we want to, and then you'll see it's going to change. What this does, not only does it make it real fun, it keeps you engaged. You're not afraid to go into the MLS and change. You cannot break Paragon. I don't care anybody. I've had lots of people say, I can break anything. No, you can't break Paragon. If you want to try, come on up here. We'll go ahead and just try to break Paragon, but you can't do it. Stay engaged here. One of the things that Paragon really doesn't allow is a lot of the fonts or the color changes, and that's because screen resolutions and everything's a little bit different. Just go ahead and choose the default whenever possible. We're going to click next. The contact manager, again, when you go in and when you first start, you're not going to have a lot of contacts. Secondly, it's all dependent on your internet speed. You have this from 50 to 250. Choose whatever you want, and it's going to load up on the first page. If you want 250 and you have great, fine, knock yourself out. But don't, just don't put 250 as your regular. Also, contact activity. Right here under your contact activity, we're going to show you how to create your collab centers. What you can do is once you start creating your collab centers, under your contact, you're going to be able to see A, everyone that you've created a collab center for, and B, you're going to see when they accessed it and how many times. That's very important because each time that you make contact with them, they think, oh, he just cares about me. When you're looking at it, it doesn't matter how you're getting your information. You're giving them that warm fuzzy saying, Mike's just taking care of me. He knows that I've been on it 6 times. The other thing that I want you to do is notice on your, where did my preferences go? Notice on your default as far as your times, your dates back. Right here. It defaults to 7 days. I'm going to encourage you to change it to 3. 2 purposes. First of all, it starts for 7 days, the same records get on there. And in this market, you can have a new listing and it go under contract and sometimes close all in 7 days, and you're going to get really, really messed up. Go back 3 days. What that does is it allows you, and you're going to need it, to be able to take off a weekend. So if you go a day or 2 without looking at your Paragon, and trust me, you say, "Ooh, I'm not going to." Oh, yes, you will. There's a time everybody thinks that they're bulletproof. They're not. But there may be a day where it goes through and you don't look at it. If you go back 3 days, that allows you a vacation or long weekend. You can go back and see what you might miss. Now, do I encourage you to go ahead and take long stretches of time away from the Paragon? No, but it's going to happen. Okay. But just go back 3 days, and that way your records aren't really, really muddled up. And click next. Time zone, yes. I have had people not realize they are in the central time zone. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason, we are in the central time zone. Couldn't resist. Huh? You can do that. Yeah, you can go ahead and set Pacific. You're going to be 2 hours late, and in this market, you're gone. You snooze, you don't snooze in it. Yep. Your calendar notification options, let me encourage you right here. Listings to expire. Make sure that's checked, because Paragon will, 30 days after you get your listing, if it hasn't sold, it'll give you a 30-day countdown to say your listing at 123 Main Street will expire in 29 days, 28. Why is that important? Because I come up here and tell a group of you every month, go prospect expired listings. Don't let your expired listings occur. What happens is, in a regular market, you have somebody in the same fear. I'll list it for whatever you want to. Well, it's generally high. You market it, you do your open houses, it gets a lot of showings at first, and then after 6 months, which is generally what the length of the time that people sign a listing agreement, it's going to expire. Well, I just told y'all to look for expired listings. So somebody markets it for 6 months at $200,000. One of you come in and say, "Hey, listen, it's a great market, it's a great house. But right now we're at that 200. It's not quite where it needs to be. So let's drop it down to 195. You drop it down to 195, it's below a 2 or a 3 or a 50. It's below that. And then all of a sudden, you get an offer in 7 days. Well, what happens? That listing agent has marketed and put all the dollars and time in it for 6 months. You go ahead and you're able to say, "Whoo, I got an accepted offer in this amount of days." That's why you don't let your listings expire, and that's why you market for, you prospect for expired listings. Paragon will count down 30 days on down. Make sure you check that. Some people have tour and open houses, some people don't. It just depends on what Paragon feels like throwing it up. Because right now tours are not taking place because of COVID, it's not really vitally important for that. But you can have all of them checked and then go back and uncheck it if you don't want that. Mobile account, make sure that your cell number is in here. Paragon allows you to Send text. Now you can send these reports via text as opposed to just an email, but you have to have your cell number in there. Make sure that your number is in there. Email options, right here. Make sure you autofill your blind carbon copy. What this does is any email that goes out, when you send Paragon, when you send your Collab centers, whenever you send reports, whatever it is, you will get a copy of it so you can track and see what reports have gone to who and when. Default message body. This is something a lot of people like to have a boilerplate, and you're going to be able to set that up as far as every email that goes out will have something. My personal opinion, I never did it because if I saw somebody at the ball field, I could type in a personal message, said, great to see you at the ball field. If you have one, said, thank you for coming to my open house, it's a little bit, messes them up a little bit. So personalize it, but whatever works for you, something works, nothing doesn't. Also, I noticed that when a lot of the newer licensees that came in with this class, this right here, this email verified, make sure that you have verified your email because you won't be able to send or receive any emails through Paragon. When you were going through your membership and filling out all the paperwork, Paragon sent you one that said verify your email. Make sure this says the green email verified. If it doesn't, see me after class, we'll get membership to send you another one, verify your email. But I noticed a lot of people when I was sending them their passwords for their free agent site, that the emails were not verified. Okay. Display property address, and this displays the address with the MLS number in the report view. Strictly optional, play with it, see if you like it. Default notification recurrence. Let me encourage you, it defaults to midnight. Change the time. No good conversation about real estate takes place at midnight. Scenario, Mr. and Mrs. John Doe are in bed asleep. At midnight, what happens? If they have an automatic notification set up, an email sent to this thing. This thing makes all sorts of wonderful noises. At midnight, Mr. Doe's phone goes, ding. Mrs. Doe says, what's that? Mr. Doe says, oh, Realtor Jane sent me a notice on the house. She doesn't say, oh, Realtor Jane is doing her job. She says, what's Realtor Jane emailing you at midnight for? And it happens. So go ahead and change that time. Somebody actually changed it to sometime in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. And that way they don't get caught up in the morning rush of emails where people just click. You can have it in the afternoon, but change that time. Nothing good in real estate happens at midnight. The message body, this is the one that you can type. And if you want the same email message to go out, this is where you'll type it here. Click next. Your email signature. Let me encourage you. Right here, put your picture, put your company name, put your information here. Now, this is something that does not change automatically if you change brokerages. So make sure that you remember that if you change your cell number or if you change your picture, come in here and manually change this. It doesn't automatically change. Because there's a lot of people that have gone and changed brokerages, and 6 months later they go, it's putting it wrong. It's been doing that for 6 months because you have to go in and manually change it. To put your picture in here, it's a little different. Right in the center, there's something. If you hover over it, it says Insert Edit Image. So click on that, and you'll be able to put it. You can put it on the right side, left side, whatever you want. Again, you cannot break it. And ladies and gentlemen, you have set up your preferences. You can go in and change them at any time. Again, let me encourage you. The next will be your Collab Center preferences. Go through that, set that up. A lot of the preferences that you set up in the wizard will travel down to your Collab Center, and then whatever you set up in those will travel down to your CMA. That's why they're in that order. So once you put your picture in one, it will appear in all of them. You won't have to repeat and do it again. So what you've done is here, let's say that And I'm just going to make up an MLS number. What you have done is you have customized that when you look for property, this is the way that it's going to appear. When you click on it, this is the report I told you about, the agent full that appears. And if you are handing out reports, you've customized this information down at the bottom. So when you hand it out at an open house, at wherever it may be, you've put your cell phone, your picture, your company, your legal, and you're promoting yourself. So that's what the preference wizard does when you go through everything. Questions or comments about the preferences, not the presenter? All right, I'm going to check. No chats. Zoom, if you're out there, you can unmute or you can type it in the chat. I'll check and see. But that is vitally important. Customize your preferences in Paragon. Then go to your Cloud CMA. Click on your Cloud CMA. Remember, these don't automatically default into putting in whatever picture that you have. You have to go in and customize it. Please. There we go. Upper right-hand corner. When you click on that, go to your account settings.
Sorry, after the CMA.
Upper right-hand corner has your initials. Is your name? Okay, click on your name. And account settings. When you click on account settings, it gives you the option making sure that everything is correct, but make sure you put your picture. Make sure all this information is correct. Save profile. Why is that important? Because for those that attended the class last week, you realize that Cloud CMA allows you to generate the opportunity to get a free CMA, and it is customized with your picture. Again, free. Free as in no charge. So you customize that. Again, Cloud. When you click on it, make sure you go to your account settings, whether it be your name, whatever it may be. Click on it, account settings, and make sure that all that information is updated and correct. Market stats, same thing. Click on it. Anytime you're going to be looking for your profile, click on your profile. This doesn't give you as much. However, put in as much information as you possibly can. You're going to customize your market stats. So when you want to run a report, thank you, non-COVID. So when you get ready to share this report right here, you're going to customize this with your name, your picture, your company logo, everything. And again, why is this important? Last week, we shared in the class how you can post this on your social media, how you can hand this out, things like that. And it's going to be customized for you. The next we're going to go to is, let me see, make sure that you have your showing time. Same thing, you click on showing time, you're able to customize it. Always look for your profile. Here, edit profile, customize it. People buy and people sell from people. You want to be related, relatable. You want that professional image across instead of just a name. So customize everything that you possibly can. RPR is another thing, customize it. Now, when you set your RPR up, make sure that you have your NERDS number. That's going to be your number that has been given to you from the National Association of Realtors. You'll need that to set it up. But again, you'll be able to update it with your picture, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so that's going to be in the customization of your tools and applications. Anytime you open something up for the first time, make sure you go to the account settings, put your picture in, put your cell number in, make sure that all this information is correct. Questions? All right. You are doing open houses. You're prospecting. You have done what you're supposed to do to be that mega successful professional. Somebody says, hey, I'm looking for houses. All right, so now we're going to go into the searches. How you can do a search. Well, before I do that, we're going to create that collaboration center. What we're going to do is you have had the opportunity to meet someone. They are looking for a particular type of home. You're either done open house, you're Publix, you're at the ball field, whatever it is, you come across somebody, hey, I saw your picture online and I'm looking for a house. I'm looking for this type of home. Well, you can do like everybody else and you can set them up where they receive an email for everything. And that's okay. Something works. However, in this market, they're going to get an email for every time there's a property that hits the market. So let's say 5 homes in the next 2 days hit the market. They're going to receive 5 emails. In that time, 2 of them went under contract. So when they say, hey, listen, I met you Sunday, it's Tuesday, I want to look at these houses that you sent me, you have to go back through the email chain. You find the property address, then you got to go and find out if it's still active. I'm going to encourage you to use the Collaboration Center. The Collaboration Center is the most efficient way that you can keep somebody in the loop as far as properties, whether they become coming soon, active, pending, or sold. You have gone through, remember, we went through our preferences. We've already set up the Collab Center. The Collaboration Center is a real-time website customized for each client or customer for their needs. So what we're going to do is, you've met this person, you're going to create them a collaboration center. This is how you create it in 3 steps. Now we're going to go through those 3 steps, but remember this. Number 1, you always create the contact first. So you get all their information in and you create the contact first. I'm going to show you how to do that. Next, you will create the search that they want. Lastly, you're going to create the notification way, the option. That's where you choose the Collaboration Center. Now, I'm going to show you something, and each one of y'all, whether you say it out loud or not, I know you mean it, you're going to go, ooh, I'm impressive. That's okay. That consumer thinks that you're very impressive also. And they don't have to know that you can create this in a matter of minutes. That's our secret. I'm not going to tell them, just as long as you don't tell them secrets on me. But I'm going to show you, create contact, create search, create your notifications. So I have gone in and I have met a consumer, open house, wherever it may be. They told me what they're looking for. So I immediately go to my computer. I go to contacts. Remember, create the contact first and foremost. So I'm going to create the contact. I add contact. First name, last name. Okay, guys. Just because it has an R, those aren't the only 2 fields that you need to fill out. I know I'm a guy, I do the minimum that I have to, but I'm going to encourage you, put first name, last name, and the email, because you cannot notify them without an email address. So I'm going to put And these are fictitious. Minimum of those three. First name, last name, email. Click this save. It's going to immediately ask you, do you want to associate a property? Now, when you have a listing, I'm going to show you, and I can do that afterwards if somebody has an active listing out there, how you can create a seller side collaboration center. Now, everybody has the same tools. It's just like Christmas time. Paragon, Valley MLS is giving you all these toys. You got Paragon, you got Dot Loop, you got HomeSnap, you got all these things. But guess what? They all came with no batteries. You got to put the batteries in. So I'm going to show you how you can put the batteries in not only the buyer side collaboration center, but do the seller side. Everybody does it, but not everybody is using it. If you can say, hey, listen, if you list with me, this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to do open houses. Everybody does that. But I'm going to send you a report once a week. It's going to show you the activity. Really? No cost to you. But when you click the save here, it's going to ask to associate a property. I'm going to say not now because I don't have it. This is a buyer that I'm working with. If it was a seller, this is where you would do that. Remember, buyer, we create the contact. Now you are at verifying all this information. If you need to add something, go ahead and do it now. You click your green, remember the green next. Whenever you see it, use it. Now it's going to ask you to create the search. You create the contact, now you're going to create the search. We're going to add a new save search. And what you're going to do is create a search that's going to be specific to that client. So we're going to choose active listings. And for time's sake, I'm going to be very, very selective. We're going to choose coming soon because this person said that they're looking for an active house in Jackson County in a certain price range, only because I know the limited inventory. When you start creating, you notice that it starts bringing down all the criteria. You start off with hundreds of thousands, and now we're down to 42. Still way too much. The first thing you need to check is the listing visibility type. If you want another class on listing visibility type, we'll have one, but it will take about an hour to explain it. I'm just going to ask you to trust me. When you have that magnifying glass, click it and use it. You're going to choose these three visibility types. MLS listing, coming soon, construction, no days on the market. Choose those three. I can go through each one of them. I will explain them. I will bore you to tears. Choose those three, click save. Notice that the number didn't change. But what you've done is you've selected those that can be posted onto the collaboration center. So remember that I'm choosing for, we're going to be in Jackson County.
Mike, we're not seeing your screen.
No screen?
No, we're just on the Paragon screen.
Nothing.
Huh. Well, let me
Thanks,
see.
Landa.
We're better?
No. We're seeing your screen, but we're not seeing the contents of where you are in the Collab Center. It blanked it out.
How about that one?
Yeah, I can see that one.
See the search screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to type in Jackson and see if you see Jackson appear.
Yes.
Okay, that's the screen. What I've done is I went into contacts. Did y'all see me then? I added a contact and I followed all the steps to add the contact. Then it took me to this screen. You want me to go through it again? Beg your pardon?
No, we're good.
Okay, good. All right, so now you can see that I'm putting in the criteria for searches, and I'm going to be, and I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Down to 55, and I'm gonna look for square footage between 1,500 and 1,700. All right, I'm down to 6. Just for quick, and again, what you're going to do is customize your search, and after I finish this, time permitting, and I hadn't bored y'all to tears, I'll show you how you can customize this for searches. But what I've done is I met this person, they wanted a certain type house. I've gone in my search, narrowed it down to this. I've narrowed it down to 6. A lot of people ask me, what number do you want to save that at? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you whatever number that you would feel comfortable with. You don't want to look at 55 houses, going click, 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 click. Have it a good working number. Don't have it 1. You want to offer them enough, but what would you feel comfortable with? And start with that. So I've gone ahead, I've created the contact, I've created the search. You're 2/3 of the way there. So what you're going to do is you're going to look, and if you're happy with all these homes, you select them all. If you're not happy with one of them, you can take one out, and this green check will eliminate number 6. And now we'll go from 6 to 5. So if you have a search and you can go through and you may say, oh, this one's a foreclosure, they can't get an FHA loan on it, whatever it may be, you can eliminate it. Now you've got it down to the houses that you wanted to see, okay? So now with that right here, this green save search, you've created the contact, you've created the search. When you click save search, it's going to save the search for your contact name. When you click save, you have become a webmaster. You have basically created a collaboration center just with that. You want to look at it? Glad you asked. Any questions so far? Created the contact, you created a search. Now you see where it defaults into Collab Center. You can change that to email, but again, I've talked to you the pitfalls of having an email. You can still do it. If somebody says, no, I don't want this, I want to have emails. You can choose and have emails. But I'm going to let you look in those steps. We did this in 10 minutes, and you can do it a lot quicker without me talking. That's what you created. Now, I'm going to ask you as the consumer, if somebody's going to email you reports all the time or create this interactive website, which do you prefer? Now, remember here, I already know that that's rhetorical. Remember right here, you have customized your Collab Center preferences. Why is that important? This is where you have gone in and you created their note, how they can contact you. All your telephone numbers, all your pictures, email. There's a way that you can post social media contact. If you have Facebook, you can click, they can click there and they can contact you via Facebook. There's another one, I'm trying to think, I think it's Google Plus, whatever, Instagram, whatever it may be. Put your, whatever ways that they can get in touch with you. Notice here under my links, you can put your company site, you can put your own site, you can put the Chamber of Commerce, you can put Space and Rocket Center, whatever it is, you can customize and add those links where they can click on it and go to that site. Also, there is a story video. People buy from people, and unfortunately, if you're camera shy or not, you're in trouble. But right now, the trend is to create a welcome video. So you can have a video there, they click on it, and hey, this is Mike Sandoval. Thank you for choosing me to be your realtor for life. You do all that. Why is that important? Because you're going to create this for somebody. They're going to be at a gathering, and they're saying, I heard you were looking for a house. Yeah, look what Mike did for me. Boom. Mine sends me emails. I like that. Well, here, contact me. Just get in touch with him. Tell him I sent you. That's all it takes. Now, trust me, it's going to take you about 5 minutes to go through your preferences on the Collab Center. If you get one lead from one contact, you're getting a heck of a return for no money invested. So go ahead, take the time, set it up. Notice the Collaboration Center. Why is this better? Let me show you. The email, we all know what the email report looks like. When you have this, you have this information here. Pictures are device size. There's a lot of money spent on pictures. So you can go through and see each one of the pictures device size, not just looking at a little picture here. You scroll down a little bit more and you get property information about this. Let me move you up. Slide you down. You get property information. Notice on the right-hand side, if you have a comment, this is the house of my dreams, click, submit, you have a direct communication between the consumer and you. They want to schedule a showing. They don't want to wait. They schedule the time. I want to see this property. Then you get notified. You set it up for showing time and you rock and roll. Information here, directions. All this is on a much user-friendly way of aesthetically, it's much more pleasing looking at it than trying to get the report. You can read everything. Another thing, the property history. You can find the property history on that. It's very important to have that. On these reports, you don't have it. You have a days on the market and you have to look because you know those reports are very small.
That's as long as the property is listed in the MLS.
The different statuses, not just active. It can be coming soon, active, pending, and sold.
I'm talking about the history.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I think it goes back.
If the house has never been listed in the MLS, then it means zero.
Right, if it's never been listed, but again, you know, if it's been listed 5 times and you can see that somebody bought it for 6 months ago for this price and now it's at this price, or you can see whatever it is. People want to know the history on it. You may see that all of a sudden it's been on the market for 6 months and the price has dropped from 300 to 125. You know, it gives them some information on it. These valuations right here, again, you can take it or leave it. When you set up your collaboration centers, you can go ahead and take those out. Mortgage rates. They can go ahead and calculate what their mortgage rates are going to be. Again, this is the way that you're creating this. Let's say now, not only can they look at it in a much user-friendly form, let's say that they've gone in and said, man, I love this house. They choose favorite. Notice right here, it goes from 6. The number stays the same, but now 1 appears in the favorites. So let's say they've had this going on for a week. There's been 15 houses there, and they've chose 5 to be favorites. If they don't like a house, they can choose a rejection, and it shows up. Why is that important? Because now you know which houses to talk to them about and which ones not. You don't have to worry about going through the email chain, finding out what's active, what's not. You can click right here and find out that this is the house that they're talking about. See, it gives you the active. If it was coming soon, it would show you coming soon. When it goes pending, one of the things that you do is you change that status because you told them the market's hot. Houses are flying off the shelf and they go, yeah, Mike needs a sale. He wants to go on vacation. All of a sudden they get notifications that this house came on the market today. Tomorrow there's an accepted offer on it. Maybe Mike was telling me the truth. So they're notified of these all the time. Real time. Interactive. Somebody's got a question. Jessica, yes, you can. Email me, mike@valleymls.com, and I will get you a copy of this. Okay? All right. So you can see the advantages of this. This is an easy way for you to seem like the consummate professional, which you are. You can email them, and that's good. But you can create this interactive website just like that. Create the contact, create the search, create the notification.
It works. I find it slow. I sold a house in 15 minutes.
It happens. And Jason, for those that don't know, Jason Flesh is here. He's our education work group chair. Has spent a lot of time promoting education opportunities here. And he's also in the profession for 3 years.
Yeah, my 3rd year anniversary was last week.
See, I knew that. That's why I said it.
Yeah, you're right on.
All right. But anyway, Jason's a good person and he's willing to share his experience. That's what we talk about in orientation. That's what we talk about in these classes and people presenting. They want you to succeed. So with that, any questions or comments about the material? Never about the presenter. I'm very sensitive.
Mike, can you import stuff like no tracks?
Unfortunately not. Now, sometimes you can take information here and export it from Paragon into different. But as far as importing in, you're not going to be able to do that. The question was, can you take this information and import like real tracks? And the answer is no. However, now one thing I want you to notice too, in the class that we come up next week, shameless plugs for the HomeSnap class, is HomeSnap is integrated not only with showing time, but also integrated with Paragon. So when you set somebody up here in your contacts, it appears in your HomeSnap under your, you can edit those contacts in there. So it's very good that way. I'm going to show the people that came to the class. I'll show them, but you're not here, so I can't.
I love the home snap.
Yep.
So easy.
Again, shameless plug. Anybody out there, first of all, I do appreciate y'all attending Zoom. Don't get me wrong, but I'd love to see your smiling faces up here. If you ever get a chance, please make every effort to attend. So we've covered a lot of ground in a short time. I appreciate everybody listening real quick. There'll be a recording. If you want a recording of this class, as chaotic as it may have been, send an email to mike@valleymls.com. If you have any questions, email mike@valleymls.com or call me 256-763-7794. Questions or comments? All hearts and minds clear. I'll be on board for a few more minutes. I do certainly thank you. We're dismissed.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Katrina.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Have a great
Hey,
day.
Mike.
Thank you.
Mike.
Appreciate it. Landa, good to see you.
Hey, I have a question.
No, ma'am, sorry. Go
Hey,
ahead.
can you just very quickly talk about Paragon Connect that I'm
As far
seeing
as-
on my dashboard now?
There's really, Landa, I can talk to you about it. Basically, it is a mobile app that connects you to your collaboration center. Now, I'm supposed to promote, before I,
Look at it briefly.